Let me tell you guys why I believe Matas Buzelis was the perfect pick for the Chicago Bulls in this year's NBA draft. All right, a couple of reasons why. Let's talk about it. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports all back at it with another video, talking some NBA here to talk about the Chicago Bulls. And yeah, if you're a Bulls fan, it has been a painful experience these past few seasons, but I feel like we have a little glimmer of hope in Matas Buzelis, that is. So let's talk about why I think he was the perfect pick. All right, let's just start with the first one. All right, my first reason is upside, the potential. So I mentioned this when he got drafted, but he was supposed to be a top 5 pick and he fell in the draft. And why upside matters is because the Bulls for the past couple of seasons have been drafting a lot of these low ceiling players that really don't have that type of potential to turn into any type of star, right? The Dalen Terrys of the world, the Julian Phillips of the world. Like, these guys are okay, but they're role player-ish type of guys. They're not star you can build your team around. Now, I'm not saying Matas is either, but there is a non-zero chance that happens. Like, the upside is there. That's why I said he was a top 5 pick. At one point, he was the projected number 1 overall pick. So essentially, that is what you are getting in this player, is the potential that you can potentially, don't want to overuse that word, but you get my point, build your team around him. We don't have a young player like that on this roster. All right. And again, I'm not saying that he will turn into the guy, but just the fact that there is a sliver of hope, I should say, that it could be him is enticing. All right. So that's the first reason, is the upside. Number 2 is he brings things to this roster that we don't currently have, which is what? Size, right? I told you he stands at about 6'10". Again, I've seen a 6'8"-ish, 6'9", but I'm going to say 6'10". Hopefully he's on the taller side. I know he's skinny, but he can certainly put on some weight. It's going to be fairly easy to do so once you get with NBA trainers and an NBA diet. He brings athleticism. We don't have a lot of that on this roster. He brings versatility. He can kind of do it all as a forward. So to me, he's bringing these things to the team that a modern NBA team should have a bunch of these type of guys, right? Again, the shooting, I agree with. We still lack that, and he's not a great shooter. Didn't shoot well last season. So that he has to certainly improve on, but the size, the versatility, the athleticism, all of these tools, these skill sets he brings, like, he is kind of the modern day wing that you want, right? In today's game, I compared him to a Franz Wagner type. That is what, this league is being built on, right? We just saw Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, these big wings win the NBA title, and then the up-and-coming teams, like I mentioned with Franz Wagner, the Orlando Magic, him and Paolo, right? Those are the 2 big wings that you want to build around. So that is where the NBA is headed, and he brings a lot of that stuff to this team, which is what you would want, all right? And finally, number 3, which is perhaps the biggest reason, and it kind of encapsulates the past 2 reasons, which is he is the reason we're probably kickstarting the rebuild finally. All right? Drafted Matas Buzelis now and wanting to get him playing time means AK and Emmy are going to be forced to do what they should have done probably 2 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago. Rebuild. And what I've been clamoring for, what Bulls fans have been clamoring for the past couple of seasons, which is just ship out all the old heads, man, and rebuild this damn team with young guys. And that is what I think is going to happen now. That is what I believe happens now, because to give this guy an ample amount of playing time, you're going to have to clear out the roster with the guys that hog all the minutes, right? The DeMars, the Zachs, the Vooches, and just hand the keys over to the young guys. So I believe he is kind of the pick that kickstarts the rebuild. Dalen Terry, drafting him didn't do that. Drafting Julian Phillips didn't do that. But drafting a kid with upside, with that athleticism, size, versatility, that is what is going to kickstart this rebuild finally. So that, to me, is the reason why he was kind of the perfect pick. I bet you if we ended up with a low ceiling guy at number 11, then we probably wouldn't make these moves. And look, folks, there's a lot of good players that have been drafted, past 10, 11, 12, that have turned out to be all-stars, that have turned out to be superstars. So it is very possible. I like off the top of my head, Paul George got drafted around that range. I think Tyrese Halliburton. So like it is very possible that we could have a star on our hands. I'm not calling it right now, but it's very possible. So I'm a very excited man, and I love having this kid Matas Buzelis on this roster, and hopefully he turns into the star that we have been waiting for in Chicago for a while. Let me know what you guys think, man. Am I off here? Leave a comment down below with your thoughts as always. Thanks for watching.